Hello guys, welcome again to a new lesson which is phrasal verbs, which is about phrasal verbs. So the rule, a phrasal verb consists of a verb plus a particle or particles. For example, Sarah grows up in a charity home for children. Sometimes the meaning is very obvious from the verb and the particle. For example, sit down, run away, pick up, look up. Pay attention. Most of the times, you need to know the exact meaning by heart, because the meaning of the verb and the particle or particles is idiomatic, which means something different from the separate literal meaning of the verb and the particle or particles. Now, for categories of phrasal verbs. The first is we have the verb plus particle. Some phrasal verbs are intransitive. In other words, they don't take a direct object. For example, the plane took off at 8 a.m. The other example, we had to get up at 7 o'clock yesterday. The second verb plus object plus particle, the biggest group of phrasal verbs, transitive. When the direct object is a noun, you can usually put it before or after the particle. For example, turn off the radio or turn the radio off. When the direct object is a pronoun, you must put it between the verb and the particle. For example, I can't hear the news in the radio. Turn it up, will you? Third, we have verb plus particle plus the object. With this type of phrasal verbs, you always put the direct object after the particle. For example, it took me a long time to get over my divorce. The second is, my mother often looks after the children when I'm away. Four, we have verb plus particle plus the object. It's similar to type 3. You always put the direct object after the second particle. For example, I don't know what I can do to put up with the noise of the city. A list of most important phrasal verbs with their meaning. Believe in. First, when you believe in something or somebody, you are sure that something or someone exists. For example, I believe in God, or I don't believe in ghosts. Children still believe in fairies. Second, to believe in something, to have a strong belief that something is right or wrong. For example, my grandparents believe in working hard and helping others. Third, when you believe in somebody, you have confidence that he is good, trustworthy person, or he can do well. For example, You can get throughout this problem. I can believe in you. We have blew up as a phrasal verb. So to blow up something or to blow something up means to fill it with air, such as a balloon, a car, or a bicycle tire. For example, can you blow these balloons up for the party, please? We have break down. Breakdown is when a vehicle or a machine stops working. For example, my washing machine has broken down. Call back is another phrasal verb. So to call back somebody means to telephone someone who called you earlier, or you telephone someone for a second time. For example, she forgot to book a double room, so she had to call the hotel back. Call around, another phrasal verb. So to call around is to visit someone, usually for a short period of time. For example, I think I will call around and see if my mother needs anything. Eat out. To eat out means to eat far away from home, at a cafe or a restaurant. For example, I don't feel like cooking this night, so let's eat out. Fall out, another phrasal verb, of course. So to fall out is to become upset with someone and stop being friends. For example, they have fallen out over something very small. Get up. To get up is to wake up and get out of bed. For example, I usually get up at 7:30. Give up. To give up is to stop doing things for many reasons. For example, he gives up work to look for her children. Another example, he gives up smoking because it's very risky. He gives up learning English because he is too busy. Grew up. To grow up is to become older and older. For example, you are a child. After a few years, you become a teenager, then an adult, and so on. For example, she is growing up fast, or he grows in Italy. Hurry up, another phrasal verb, which means to be hurry up is when you do something quickly. For example, if you don't hurry up, we will miss the train. Join in is another common phrasal verb. To join in is when you become a member in an activity or an association. For example, Asma is very shy. She never joins in the game with the other children. Look after. To look after somebody or something is to do whatever is needed to keep him or it healthy and well or in good conditions, or to take care of it or of him. For example, look after your sister while I'm away, or don't forget to take care of yourself. Move out. To move out is to leave a place and take all your furniture and other possessions with you to another place. For example, we are moving out next Sunday to Fez. Put off or put off. To put off something means to postpone doing things to another date due to many reasons. For example, we are going to get married in July, but we put it off until September because my grandfather is ill. Save up. To save up something is to keep money so as to have enough to buy something in the future. For example, we are saving up for a house, or you have to save up for buying a car. Settle down. To settle down is to start living in a place where you decide to stay for a long time, especially after living in many places or traveling a lot. For example, they settle down in Meknes because they find it more comfortable. Show off. To show off means to try make people notice and admire you, or to act proudly. It's a kind of prestige. For example, stop showing off. She showed off her new clothes to her new friends. Tell off. To tell off somebody is to speak angrily. Hello guys, welcome again to a new lesson which is phrasal verbs, which is about phrasal verbs. So the rule, a phrasal verb consists of a verb plus a particle or particles. For example, Sarah grows up in a charity home for children. Sometimes the meaning is very obvious from the verb and the particle. For example, sit down, run away, pick up, look up. Pay attention. Most of the times, you need to know the exact meaning by heart, because the meaning of the verb and the particle or particles is idiomatic, which means something different from the separate literal meaning of the verb and the particle or particles. Now, for categories of phrasal verbs.